The Spurs, they scored just 32 points in the first half, and Gregg Popovich was asked if he was at fault for the slow start. Take a listen to what Pop had to say.
I don't remember playing tonight. I didn't play. You guys get a lot of money to be ready to play. No Newt Rockney speeches. It's your job. If you're a plumber and you don't do your job, you don't get any work. I don't think the plumber needs a pep talk. If the doctor botches operations, he's not a doctor anymore. If you're a basketball player, you come ready. It's called maturity. It's your job.
Pop asked about the slow start, and he says, I didn't play. I didn't shoot. I didn't pass. I didn't dribble. Is it fair to put the first half entirely on the players, Dylan, if you're Gregg Popovich?
How the hell should I know? I'm not going to put it on Pop. Was he drawing up just terrible plays for the first time in 20 years? He lost it?
Probably not.
The touch is gone. You go, I don't know, 3-point line? Bounce pass? Sometimes you just don't have it. This team was undefeated on the road prior to this game. Sometimes you just lay an egg, and the shots don't fall. But from what I saw in that first half and throughout the game, even as they tried to claw back in the second half, which they did, it was a valiant effort in the second half. You knew that's going to happen. They're not just going to go flat for 4 quarters, especially once Pop got into them at halftime. And probably, maybe not a full-blown Newt Rockney speech, but, win one before I kick you in the ass instead of screw the Gipper. I think, from watching the first half of this game, they did look a little flat.
Yeah.
They did. And I'm sure there's a little bit of fatigue that goes into that as well. They're in a tough stretch where they've played a handful of games in the last week, and that's probably caught up to them to where they got out of the gate a little slow. They were also dealing with a pretty desperate Bulls team that's had some bad losses wrapped around beating the Cavs. Well, then, you lose to the Lakers and you lose to the Mavericks by 25. This was a game where I felt like, the Bulls said, we've got one of the best teams in the league at home, and we've got an opportunity to prove to ourselves we belong in that upper echelon. And I think they came out guns a-blazing, and they caught the Spurs, who usually come out matching tempo and matching intensity, just not doing so tonight. And that's what had Pop disappointed.
Yeah, I think we oftentimes try to look, we were just talking about this with Cam Newton. They didn't perform to our expectation. Why? It has to be something that we can point to. Sometimes you're just off. You don't have it.
Yeah.
Cam Newton, the Panthers didn't have it this year. Pop and the Spurs didn't have it tonight against the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, sometimes you're brilliant hosting the show.
Sometimes.
I step back and I'm like, wow, I'm around some real talent here. Sometimes you blow.
Sometimes I'm just like a big pile of poop.
Yep.
Right
Just 2 butt cheeks right there. Just hosting a show in a vest.
Like when I tell you to bet the Warriors.